The front page costs 5 cents. Call it about 90 cents today. And the lead headline, printed in the largest type on the page, calls the attacker a dope fiend. Not an alleged attacker, not a suspect. A dope fiend. Front page, stated as fact. This is the Washington Tribune, a Black-owned weekly newspaper out of Washington, D.C., July 30, 1926. It ran out of 920 U Street Northwest, the heart of what people called Black Broadway. 5 cents a copy. The paper billed itself first in advertising and circulation among the city's black press. Keep that in mind as you look at what it chose to put on its front page. The banner headline, on biggest type on the whole page, reads "Doctor's Wife Assaulted by Dope Fiend." And over on the right, the subheadline tells you the key detail: White Assailant Yet at Large. The story is about Mrs. C.A. Tignor, struck on the head with the butt of a revolver in her own home at 472 Florida Avenue. The man came to the door pretending to need a doctor. Her husband wasn't home. The paper names the attacker's race plainly and puts it in a subhead, because for a black newspaper in 1926, a white man attacking a black woman in her home and still being free was exactly the kind of story the white press wasn't going to run. This page was doing the work those papers refused to do. Then look toward the center of the page. There's a story about a mandatory injunction, a court case in which, as best I can make out, Chief Justice Walter the Search McCoy denied an injunction that attorneys were seeking on behalf of residents the paper identifies as Negroes related to a property in the district. The Newton family had purchased and occupied a house. The court language quoted here is clipped and procedural, but it's running right next to the assault story, the funeral story, the community convention story. Every column is carrying a different front of the same basic fight: safety, property, standing. The whole page is that fight, laid out in 6 columns, and dominating the upper left, the funeral notice for Dr. Silas S. Thompson, Right Eminent Grand Commander of the Knights Templar of the District of Columbia. The paper notes overflow attendance at funeral services and lists his pallbearers by name. He was buried in Arlington Cemetery. A prominent black physician, buried at Arlington in 1926, with a full honor escort from the entire Grand Commandery. That detail alone took work to earn. The Tribune made sure you knew it. What you're holding is a paper that existed because it had to. The mainstream white D.C. press wasn't covering Mrs. Tignor's assault, or the Arlington burial, or the property injunction, not with any urgency. The Washington Tribune covered the full texture of a community's life, its losses, its dangers, its dignity. 5 cents, 90 cents now, worth considerably more than that. Another front page tomorrow. If this one stayed with you, subscribe so you don't miss it.